Please be seated. Graduates, friends, family, faculty, staff, and honored guests, welcome to the Thayer School of Engineering at Dartmouth's 2025 Investiture. My name is Doug Van Sitters. I'm the interim dean of the Thayer School of Engineering at Dartmouth, and I'm honored to serve as your Master of Ceremonies today. Let me be the first of many to say congratulations to the class of 2025. And of course, no one reaches this milestone alone, so I want to take this moment to acknowledge your family and friends, both here and at home, who supported you throughout this journey. Your incredible faculty who have taught, guided, and mentored you at Dartmouth. And those along the way who offered support and a shoulder to lean on and help you get to where you are today. At tomorrow's commencement ceremony, Dartmouth will award a record 258 engineering degrees from Thayer, including a record 127 degrees for the Bachelor of Engineering, including 52 of you earning your AB and BE simultaneously. A record 47 degrees for the Master of Engineering, 51 degrees for the Master of Engineering Management, 10 degrees for the Master of Science, and 23 PhDs in engineering sciences. In addition, Dartmouth will also award 126 degrees for the Bachelor of Arts in engineering sciences. Today, we're also excited to celebrate the first of our Master of Engineering graduates who completed their degrees through our partnership with the Universidad de Ingeniería y Tecnológica in Lima, Peru. And for the second year in a row, MEM degrees will be awarded equally to men and women. We have a lot to celebrate. Before we begin, I want to take a moment to introduce the distinguished guests joining us today. To my right, Joseph Helble, Lehigh University President, former Dartmouth Provost, and former Dartmouth Dean, Thayer Dean, and our Fletcher Award recipient who will deliver the keynote address. Dartmouth Provost David Coates, Dartmouth Trustee Will Griffith, Laura Ray, Professor and Senior Associate Dean for Faculty Development, Faculty Marshal William Scheidler, and newly appointed Associate Professor of Engineering. And to my left, Chair of Thayer Board of Advisors Todd Cook, Chair of Dartmouth's Board of Trustees Elizabeth Lempres, two members of our Thayer Board of Advisors Ashifi Gogo and Barry McLean. Behind me are our esteemed engineering faculty and senior academic leadership, including Vicki May, Professor and Associate Dean of Undergraduate Education, Vikrant Vazee, Professor and Executive Director of the MEM Program, Eugene Santos Jr., Professor and Director of the Master of Engineering Program, and Petra Bonfort-Taylor, Professor and Associate Dean for Community Success. I also want to recognize our student marshals who led the procession, PhD candidate Vishal Sharma, and MEng candidate Isabel Anderson, MEM candidate Shradha Narain, and BE candidate Noah Dunleavy. I have the privilege of introducing our next speaker, Dartmouth Provost David Coates. As Dartmouth's Chief Academic and Budget Officer, David Coates has led efforts that advance our mission. He has served as Associate Dean for the Sciences, Executive Director of Dartmouth's Institute for Security, Technology, and Society, co-leader of the Center for Technology and Behavioral Health, and an active computer sciences faculty. More recently, he's helped shape important conversations around Dartmouth's strategy for AI, climate and sustainability, and global reach and impact. This month, he completes his tenure as provost to return to his original love, teaching and research. Please welcome Provost Coates.
Thank you, Dean Van Sitters. Good morning, graduates, faculty, families, and friends. It is an honor to join you today to celebrate the Thayer School of Engineering class of 2025. To our graduates, congratulations. You have reached this moment through countless hours of hard work, collaboration, late nights, and breakthroughs, some technical and some deeply personal. As Dartmouth's provost for the past 4 years, I've had the privilege of helping our academic community wrestle with some of the most pressing questions of our time. And few questions today are more urgent or more promising than those surrounding artificial intelligence. In your time at Thayer, you've seen AI move from the realm of theory to a daily reality, from lab models to headlines, from coursework to career paths. And unlike previous generations of engineers, you are stepping into a world that is already being profoundly shaped by machine learning, data-driven systems, and algorithmic decision-making. But what gives me hope, deep hope, is that you, Thayer graduates, have not approached AI with uncritical awe. You've approached it with rigor, with creativity, with caution, and with conscience. You understand that AI is not magic, it's human-made. For better or for worse, human-made AI systems inevitably reflect our values, our assumptions, and our biases. As engineers, you will surely build AI-driven systems. As Dartmouth graduates, you will surely ask what it means to build these systems responsibly. How do we design systems that serve humanity rather than replace it? How do we ensure that algorithms do not deepen inequality, but help close the gaps? How do we make AI a tool for climate resilience, medical breakthroughs, inclusive education, and not just for efficiency or profit? These are engineering questions, but they are also ethical questions, and that is the strength of a Thayer education. It equips you not just with technical skills, but with the moral imagination to ask what those skills are for. Indeed, this is the moment when I must ask myself, was it actually a good idea to start writing this speech by typing a prompt into ChatGPT? On the one hand, I must admit it did a pretty darn good job drafting a speech. On the other hand, can I truly say that these words are my words, these thoughts are my thoughts? As a computer scientist giving a speech about artificial intelligence, how could I resist the opportunity to experiment with the use of AI to write a speech about AI? Seriously though, the world is at a crossroads. Technological acceleration is outpacing regulation, and society needs people who can lead, not just technically, but thoughtfully. That is who you are. You are the generation that will decide not only what AI can do, but what it should do. Let's be clear, AI is only part of your toolkit. You actually carry with you an even more powerful tool, a Dartmouth education. And the most powerful force you bring into the world isn't a model or an algorithm, it's your judgment, your willingness to listen, your integrity, your ability to ask the hard questions, and your ability to connect technology to humanity. Class of 2025, we are proud of you. You're entering a time of transformation, and you are transformers. May you lead with vision, may you build with care, and may you always remember that the most powerful systems begin not with code, but with character. Congratulations, and thank you.
Thank you, Provost Coates. This year, we're excited to feature 2 graduating student speakers who each bring perspectives unique to their Thayer experience. Our first speaker, Jenna Martin, is an engineer and a rower who has balanced her studies with the demands of Division I athletics and demonstrated the power of collaboration and teamwork in many aspects of her time at Dartmouth. A 4-year National Scholar athlete, 3-year All-Ivy, and an honorable mention All-American athlete, Jenna completed an historic season with her teammates at the NCAA National Championship Regatta. She's applied this work ethic and collaborative spirit to engineering. from class projects to her senior thesis that tackled a complex societal challenge of illegally printed gun parts. Growing up, Jenna and her two sisters drew inspiration from their mother, an engineer, who sparked the same passion in all three of them. In fact, her younger sister, Jillian, is an engineering major here at Dartmouth. Tomorrow at commencement, Jenna will earn both her Bachelor of Engineering and Master of Engineering degrees, and will soon join Draper, a nonprofit engineering innovation program, as a product engineer in her home state of Massachusetts. Please join me in welcoming Jenna Martin.
Good morning, everyone. First, I would like to acknowledge what a great honor it is to be here to celebrate this tremendous achievement with you all today. Thank you to the Thayer faculty, Dean Van Sitters, Provost Coates, Lehigh President Helble, members of the Thayer Board of Advisors, and the Dartmouth Board of Trustees. Thank you, lab instructors, TAs, machine shop instructors, and the maintenance and grounds crew for this incredible day. During the fall of my first year at Dartmouth, my mother took a photo of me with a mask covering half of my face in front of the engraved quote on the side of Cummings that read, "To prepare the most capable and faithful for the most responsible positions and the most difficult service." I remember reading that and feeling incredibly intimidated. I mean, the quote says most 3 times. I don't even think it's possible to make that quote any more intense. The only person that I could ever imagine to embody that quote was my mother, who was standing behind the camera. Throughout my life, I have witnessed her tackle some of the most complex engineering challenges in safety, health, and well-being. How could I ever measure up? How could I contribute to society as an engineer in a meaningful and impactful way? I am sure many of you shared these feelings when you first arrived to Thayer. As we began our engineering journeys 4 or 5 years ago, we couldn't see the finish line, but nevertheless, we chose to start it here in these woods with these people. Much like rowing a boat into fog early in the morning, we had to trust the people around us to work in unison and push towards the finish line. We all chose to elect Engines 21 during class selection, ready to innovate. Though, in my case, innovation looked like seatbelt straps hot glued to a pipe. Still, we learned to prototype, to iterate, and to lead with humility, even when we had no clue what we were doing. We carried these lessons we learned from Engines 21 into all the classes that came after it. From building bridges in Engines 33 to Mars mission rovers in Engine 76, I cannot remember a single project where everything went according to plan. We have learned to welcome failure for ourselves, but most importantly, how to support others through it. I remember when my group project partner broke the most important component of our project the night before the final presentation. I cannot emphasize enough how important that component was to our project. And I would like to tell you that everything ended up being fine, but academically speaking, it really wasn't. Nevertheless, the kindness and camaraderie of our team after that moment was the only way that our project could move forward. We all forgive you, Sebastian. Before I knew it, I was deep into a senior honors thesis, working on the geometric identification of 3D part files to prevent the illegal printing of firearms. It wasn't just theory, it was impact. And somehow, after years of questioning whether I'd ever measure up, I found myself right there doing the work. How did this happen? Through 5 years of engineering and rowing at Dartmouth, I've learned that success, whether in the lab, on the river, or in life, depends not on brute force or raw intellect alone, but our ability to move together with purpose. We have prepared ourselves for difficult service because we have done it together. In rowing, you train for years and years for a race that only will last a few minutes. This requires the athlete to truly enjoy the process because you never know what the outcome will be. The same goes for engineering. You can pour years of hard work into a solution that ends up failing. So you must learn as much as you can from every moment and enjoy the process. And I have enjoyed every moment of the process here with you all. So today, as I stand here in front of the Thayer community, I think back to that photo that my mom took and how impossible this all once felt. I hope I've made her proud. Thank you, Mom, for being my inspiration and for making it possible for me to experience this incredible journey. I would be remiss not to thank my friends graduating today. I truly would not be here without you all. Your unwavering support and kindness have meant the world to me, and the camaraderie we shared is something that I'll remember for the rest of my life. Now, as we prepare to leave this place, these woods, these people, we carry with us not just what we have learned, but who we have learned it with. And I carry immense gratitude for this place and for all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jenna. Our next speaker, Peter Solberg, is a PhD candidate whose biomedical engineering research is driving the development of safer, smarter, and longer-lasting implants that improve patient lives. Originally from Minnesota, he earned his Bachelor of Science degree in mechanical engineering from South Dakota State University. As an undergraduate fellow at the Mayo Clinic, he learned firsthand the critical role that entrepreneurship plays in bringing surgical technologies from the lab into clinicians' hands. At Dartmouth, Peter was a PhD Innovation Fellow in the Training Program for Surgical Innovation. He pursued entrepreneurial coursework alongside his research. He served as a mentor to undergraduate researchers and first-year MS and PhD students, and was an active contributor to the Upper Valley MedTech Collaborative. After graduation, he will join Medtronic as an R&D engineer focused on heart valve technologies, continuing his work to translate research into life-changing medical solutions. Please welcome the soon-to-be Dr. Peter Solberg.
Well, good morning, everyone. It's an honor to be here celebrating Thayer's remarkable engineering graduates with you all today. To the faculty and staff, family, friends, and mentors, thank you for everything you've done to help us reach this moment. And to my fellow graduates, it's been a long journey, longer for some of us than others, but we made it. Congratulations. One of my early memories at Thayer was being invited to Thanksgiving dinner by the research engineers in my lab, John and Barb Currier. I was far from home and probably looked like I could use some home-cooked nourishment after finishing my Engines 91 final. As I got to know the Curriers, I started to learn what it means to be part of the Dartmouth Engineering family. You see, early in their careers, this innovative couple convinced their employer to let them share a single engineering job, alternating weeks so that one of them could always be at home with the kids. John Currier, who sadly passed away a few years ago, carried that innovative spirit into MVP, a robotics company he helped start with his Dartmouth classmate, the late Buddy Tevens. They had a mission to reduce football practice injuries, and each week in our lab meetings, John would update us on the company's latest progress. In hearing his stories, I realized that being a Dartmouth engineer is about more than just innovation. It's also about real impact. But how do we have that real impact? Well, you all at Thayer have shown me over the last few years that it starts by treating our classmates, our colleagues, our clients, like they are family. We come to understand each other's stories, values, goals, and pain points, and because we know and appreciate these people, we don't hesitate to engage across difference or across discipline. That's how John and Buddy combined their passions of engineering and coaching in a way that led to over half of NFL teams adopting their safe tackle robots. And that's how I've seen many of you approach engineering, not just as technical work, but as a pursuit of that interdisciplinary magic, followed by an intense drive to turn ideas into reality. Now, it does take a special kind of person to do that, and luckily at this Thayer family gathering, we have no shortage of those brilliant, maybe slightly crazy cousins who are willing to risk it all to have an impact. Let me give you a few examples. First, there's my lab mate, Becca Thompson, who has developed an implant material for women with pelvic floor dysfunction. She's launched her company Novogyne and is charging ahead to improve quality of life for millions of women. Or there's my friend Yanchao Li, who reached beyond electrical engineering to learn about neuroscience and haptics, and is now about to start a company to develop chips that could transform how we as humans interact with machines. Or there's Adam Gronwald, who pivoted from building lunar rovers to building agricultural robots for his PhD. Why? Because he realized after dozens of interviews with farmers that his robots had even more potential to impact lives on Earth by reducing fertilizer runoff. That same interdisciplinary spirit shaped my own dissertation as I stepped beyond my mechanical roots to also look at electrical properties of polymer composites. The result has been a whole new set of ideas for how we can make implants safer and more effective. So while we celebrate today, I reflect again on what you all have taught me. Our most complex challenges are human at their core, and solving them starts by treating stakeholders like family, understanding their needs and their values. From that foundation of trust, we can boldly cross boundaries into unknown territory, just as John, Barb, Yanchao, Becca, and Adam have. Finally, let's not forget to welcome those who are not yet at the table. Dartmouth engineers, we have so much to offer. Thank you for welcoming me into this family 6 years ago, and for the many ways you each have inspired me along the way. Congratulations again, Thayer graduates.
Thank you, Peter. It's now my honor to recognize our students and members of our community for their achievements and distinguished service. When your name is called, please use the ramp on either side, pause for a photo after receiving your award, then exit using the center ramp. Our first award, the George A. Colligan Memorial Prize, goes to an undergraduate engineering sciences major in recognition of outstanding performance in materials science. This year's prize goes to Louis Lotoulouis. Louis earned the highest grade in spring terms Engines 24, Science of Materials, and earned both the AB and BE in 4 years while competing on the Dartmouth ski team. The Faculty Award for Academic Excellence goes to the student with the highest academic performance in the Bachelor of Engineering program. This year's prize goes to Declan Unverfirth, who has earned a 4.0 grade point average across 15 engineering courses with 3 citations. The Dartmouth Society of Engineers Prize is awarded for outstanding performance in an engineering project by a Bachelor of Engineering student or team. This year's prize goes to the engine's 8990 team of Lord Charité Iguirim Bambizi, Ian Kamwero, Lee Nguyen, Evan Rankin, and Ben Sheldon. This team developed an EEG processing pipeline for effective autism spectrum disorder diagnosis, reconstructing a published methodology in Python to validate the workflow for the development of an accurate, objective autism diagnostic tool. Congratulations. The Charles F. and Ruth D. Goodrich Prize is awarded to a second-year PhD student in recognition of outstanding achievement with special emphasis on academic excellence. This year's prize goes to PhD student Amrita Anup. As an NSF Graduate Research Fellow, Amrita has published 2 first author papers, appeared in 6 conference abstracts, and earned 8 high passes in her coursework. Congratulations, Amrita. The Carolyn Henderson Prize is awarded to the Master of Engineering Management degree graduate for highest academic achievement and outstanding service. This year's prize goes to Aryan Chaudhry. Aryan received the most high passes in the MEM program, during which he also served as a course curator and teaching assistant for engineering simulations and marketing courses. Congratulations. The Corporate Collaboration Council Engineering Management Prize honors outstanding performance in the ENGG 390 internship and project by a Master of Engineering Management degree graduate. This year's prize goes to MEM candidate Sandile Dubé. Sandile led a project at the Safariland Group where he assessed manufacturing processes, evaluated the investment value of automated sewing technology, and developed a lean-based process improvement framework. Congratulations. The Master of Engineering Award goes to a degree candidate in recognition of outstanding achievement with special emphasis on academic achievement. This year's award goes to Matthew Ritterbusch. With a concentration in energy engineering, Matthew earned the highest grade possible in every class he took, including 1 citation. He was an inaugural Irving Graduate Energy Fellow and was on the winning team of Irving's Energy Hack. Congratulations, Matthew. The John C. Woodhouse Engineering Design Prize is awarded for innovation and ingenuity in developing the most inexpensive but effective experimental research equipment. This year's prize goes to a team, Cypher Rahman, Chris Kolsman, and Simon Agnew. This team demonstrated how to do more with less in their lab, developing a custom system for mapping the thickness of 2-dimensional semiconductor films using a combination of spectroscopic reflectometry and a low-cost desktop CNC router. Congratulations. The John C. Woodhouse Environmental Engineering Prize is awarded to an individual or team for the best work in the field of environmental study or research. This year's prize goes to Ian Raphael. As part of his PhD research, Ian spent 9 months in the Arctic living on the Polarstern icebreaker to study sea ice processes with a team of international researchers. The critical data collected during this historic expedition is currently informing global climate models. Congratulations, Ian. The Brianna S. Weinstein Engineering Design Prize recognizes a student or team for design and development of a new technology or system that benefits people, particularly children or adolescents with physical or developmental disabilities. This year's prize goes to 2 Engines 21 teams. Team Better Step, William Egena, Brian Satterberg, Benjamin Shepard, and Christopher Sims. And Team Joey, Francesco Dembinski, Asa Dow, Ian Glick, Max Konzarowski, and Georgia Nye. Better Step helps children with cerebral palsy navigate stairs on their own. The team designed a simple, effective device that was tested and improved with user feedback. Joey is a device that helps parents share their heartbeat with babies in the NICU, also known as kangaroo care. Their prototype, which includes an app, received rave reviews from nurses, doctors, and parents. Congratulations. The John W. Strobing PhD Memorial Prize is awarded to a student in recognition of outstanding performance in engineering and medicine. This year's prize goes to Jacob Sunnerberg. Jacob's research in radiation oncology is helping advance discovery in ultra-high dose rate radiotherapy and our understanding of how it protects normal tissue from damage. He's contributed to 10 publications, including 3 as first author. In the coming year, Jacob will join UPenn's medical physics residency program. Congratulations, Jacob. The Dartmouth Engineering Prize for Graduate Research Excellence is awarded to a PhD student who has demonstrated outstanding research excellence during their graduate study. This year's prize goes to 2 PhD candidates, Megan Clark and Peiyu Wang. As a PhD Innovation Fellow in the Training for Surgical Innovation program and Medical Physics program, Megan's research focused on flash radiation and proton cancer therapy, dosimetry, and optical intracellular treatment response monitoring. She's contributed to 13 publications, including 5 as first author, and has been issued 1 patent with another pending for her work. In addition, she secured $2.4 million in funding to support her research and innovation efforts. Peiyu is a PhD Innovation Fellow tackling a major challenge in lithium-sulfur batteries. His research, which focused on development of high-energy lithium batteries that can operate across a wide range of temperatures, have resulted in 12 publications, including 4 as first author. Peiyu has served as a mentor to undergraduate researchers and currently serves as a reviewer for several academic journals. The Don Stainer Thayer 16 Changemaker Award recognizes a student or student team in any degree program for exemplary achievement in the application of engineering in service to society. This year's prize goes to the Engines 8990 team of Deja Charles, Jacob Dressler, Margaret Fraser, Sophie Goldberg, Ruby Leon, and Claire Mitchell. This team worked with Isla Urbana, a nonprofit in Mexico City that implements rainwater harvesting systems in underserved communities. The dual sensor data collection process they designed for Isla Urbana to track water volume and flow rates is providing actionable insights that is improving water access and reducing flooding in the area. Congratulations. The Dean Service Award recognizes a student who has made exceptional contributions to Thayer, Dartmouth, or the broader world through research or work in service to society. This year's prize goes to PhD student Olivia Palmer. Olivia brings a strong commitment to expanding opportunity in STEM for all students. As co-president of Thayer Council, she's lobbied for better mental health resources, served on university working groups on food insecurity and freedom of expression, helped refine professional development curricula, and helped establish mentoring programs for underrepresented students. Congratulations, Olivia. The Outstanding Service Award for staff honors work that has supported and enhanced the student experience, faculty scholarship, or community spirit. This year's prize goes to MShop Office Manager Kelly Kehoe and Engineering Lab Instructor Tad Truex. Kelly has an unwavering commitment and dedication to the Thayer community. Not only does she serve as a valuable resource for students in the MShop, she's also an active participant and contributor to the broader Thayer community and invests in the shared success of our students. Tad is a dedicated lab instructor and all-around helpful resource and mentor to our students. He consistently makes himself available outside of lab and class time to ensure that everything runs smoothly. Tad gives his all to help students understand how things work and manages to be funny and kind through it all. Thank you. The Outstanding Service Award for Faculty honors service and dedication that has enhanced the quality of our education, research, and community. This year's prize goes to Professor Jason Stouth. Jason's dedication to teaching is clear from the supplementary videos he creates to walk students through problem sets and the care that he puts into making his course accessible to all students. As co-director of the Power Management Integration Center, he works to improve performance and cost of technologies in our everyday lives: consumer electronics, mobile communications, electric vehicles, and more. Congratulations, Jason. The Community Impact Award recognizes outstanding leadership with a deep commitment to and determined efforts in building community. This award goes to somebody who reduces barriers and expands access to Thayer in support of our educational mission. The award goes to Professor Katie Hickson. Katie works hard to build community and foster collaboration in her lab, and is dedicated to the success of every student. Her working group spearheaded Thayer's Learning Series to provide the community with learning opportunities on topics ranging from multilingualism to accessibility. Congratulations. The Distinguished Research Award for Faculty honors scholarly achievements, particularly over the last year, that demonstrate notable discoveries or research accomplishments through publication, citation, or issued patents. The award goes to Professor Hui Feng. The Feng Research Group developed a new method to measure neurotransmitters in real time. Recently published in Nature Communications, this method is key to advancing basic neuroscience and brain disorder treatments. With a $2.6 million NIH award, his team is developing a microelectrode array probe for parallel neuromodulator sensing and electrophysiological recording. Congratulations. Our greatest strength is our extraordinary faculty, whose commitment to students and love for teaching is unparalleled. Each year, we honor the best teacher scholar among our engineering faculty. I'm honored to present this year's Woodhouse Excellence in Teaching Award to Professor Mike Coco. I will let his students' remarks speak for themselves. They say his lectures are some of the best. He communicates dense information clearly in a short amount of time. Professor Coco is engaging, using props to take concepts out of the imaginary realm into real life. He's always available outside of class to ensure we never fall behind. He doesn't seem to mind my barging into his office to ask questions. Professor Coco is always present, a master of the course content, and how much he cares is very important. Thank you, Mike. At every investiture, we honor a member of the greater scientific community for distinguished achievement and service in the highest tradition of our school. In 1870, our founder, Sylvanus Thayer, and then Dartmouth President Asa Dodge Smith tapped a 23-year-old Robert Fletcher, an Army lieutenant and math professor in the U.S. Military Academy, as our school's first dean and professor. Throughout his 65 years of service to Thayer, Fletcher emphasized engineering as a means to improve lives and serve society. The individual selected for this award must possess the qualities exemplified by Robert Fletcher. Today, we're honored to award Joseph Helble with the 2025 Robert Fletcher Award. President Helble, will you join me at the podium? Welcome home. Before you were Lehigh's 15th president, you served as dean of the Thayer School of Engineering for 13 years, and then as Dartmouth's provost. As provost, you not only oversaw the academic operations of our graduate schools, centers, and institutes, but played a central role in guiding this campus through the COVID-19 pandemic. As Thayer dean, you led record growth in our school's research funding, nearly doubled enrollment, and initiated the PhD Innovation Program, the first of its kind in the nation that prepares engineering PhDs for entrepreneurship. During your tenure, Thayer drew an increasingly significant number of women to engineering, and in 2016, Dartmouth became the first comprehensive national research university to award more bachelor degrees in engineering to women than to men. What's more, your vision for a new facility integrating engineering and computer science ultimately led to the construction of the class of 1982 Engineering and Computer Science Center, a building that has transformed Dartmouth's West End into a hub for innovation. That's a hard act to follow. But after leaving Dartmouth in 2021 to become president of your alma mater, Lehigh University, Lehigh completed its first comprehensive strategic plan in 15 years, established 3 university-wide research centers, earned R1 status as a top research university, and launched an interdisciplinary exploratory program that allows students to integrate coursework from engineering, business, and the liberal arts during their first semester. I wonder where you got that idea. President Helble, it's great to have you back, and we are honored to present you with the Robert Fletcher Award. Please welcome Joseph Helble.
Dean Van Sitters, thank you for that kind introduction. I'm truly humbled and honored to receive the Fletcher Award. Through many years of being Dartmouth's engineering dean, I had the privilege of presenting the Thayer Award to our investiture speaker, and not even for a nanosecond did I ever imagine that someday I might find myself as the recipient. Please know how deeply meaningful it is to me to receive this honor. Thayer and Dartmouth faculty, staff, administrators, students, families, and friends, colleagues, it truly is a privilege to be back with you here today on the Dartmouth Green to celebrate this extraordinary class of engineering graduates. To the students, to the soon-to-be Thayer School of Engineering Dartmouth graduates, congratulations on taking this significant step in this significant journey we call engineering. I know something about you. Whether you spent much of your time in McLean or Cummings, Couch or the Great Hall, Murdo or DH, the Machine Shop or Jackson, or the ECSC, I know a little bit of something about where you worked. I also know a little something about how hard you worked. And I know that your family and friends who are here with you today are proud of what you have accomplished, proud, so proud of seeing you here today, crossing this threshold. I also know that you're coming from a place, this place, Dartmouth and the Thayer School of Engineering, that almost uniquely challenges you to think in terms of intersections. The intersection of engineering and the liberal arts, the intersection of engineering and business management, the intersection of engineering and medicine, or of engineering and entrepreneurship. It's never engineering or at Dartmouth. It is always engineering and. Now, I'm making a point of this because we're experiencing a moment where I believe that and, that connection is profound, where that and means nearly everything. At Lehigh, I speak often of being deeply interdisciplinary, even radically so, and I do that to make that very point, that the and means nearly everything. As Doug said, what we're doing at Lehigh may have borrowed an idea or two that I took away with me from my time here at Dartmouth and the Thayer School of Engineering. But I'm convinced that those who understand and can operate in the framework of and will be best prepared to navigate this extraordinary moment of change. You know the change I'm referring to, and I promise you that the provost and I did not plan this and coordinate this in advance, but it is the moment of generative AI. Text, code, images, increasingly realistic videos, course syllabi, lectures, exams that itself can grade, PowerPoints, podcasts, legal memoranda, the list of what it can do, what it can replace, is impressive and to many frightening. And this is why academic leaders in almost every setting are making this the focus of their attention. Just yesterday morning, I was on my campus in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, convening a meeting of 6 local independent private colleges and universities in the Lehigh Valley, and we spent about 10 minutes speaking about our overall strategic planning, collectively sharing resources, things we could do to enhance efficiency and reduce cost on each of our campuses through collaboration. We spent the remaining 50+ minutes speaking about generative AI, opportunity, questions, ethics, impacts, and what we can do collectively and collaboratively. It is everywhere. A quick Google search or a prompt in ChatGPT or Gemini or your favorite tool asking about the impact on employment offers some pretty staggering numbers. By 2030, McKinsey predicts that 30% of current work hours in the U.S. will be automated. 30%. One source suggests that up to 11 million workers could be affected in the United States. Another that 14 million U.S. jobs could be replaced in that same time frame. Now, even in the context of a U.S. employment base of 160 million, that number looms large. And that is just the generative AI piece. Throw in biotechnology, robotics, the convergence of physics, chemistry, and biology, and does anyone remember nanotechnology? Top of the news a decade ago, it hasn't gone away. And you have what many are referring to as the convergence or the fourth industrial revolution. But as an engineer, I am a technology optimist. I'm optimistic and even excited about the future, and I am optimistic about your future. Why? Well, let's take a look at this in the context of other major technology-driven disruptions that we've seen over just the past century. 100 years ago, the assembly line, Henry Ford's innovation, displaced skilled workers, and it led to a reduction in the cost of goods and dramatically increased productivity across all sectors. We reinvented ourselves, created something different, and found new opportunity. A half century ago, from 1960 to 1980s, the computer revolution, and particularly the PC, the personal computer, automated data processing, eliminated many clerical and data management jobs, and led to creation of a whole new tech sector and the birth of new industries. We reinvented ourselves, created something different, and made new opportunity. Or what about the internet and then mobile and cloud computing? They transformed entire industries. Communications, media, retail transformed. Now, many of your faculty and staff, not you as students, but many of your faculty and staff, perhaps your parents, and yes, even I, are old enough to remember things like telephone booths, printed newspapers delivered to your driveway or front porch in the morning, travel agencies, or hunting for something you needed by physically visiting a broad range of stores without knowing in advance what they might and might not have in inventory. All of that is gone. But new jobs, new sectors, and new companies emerged. We reinvented ourselves, created something different, and found new opportunity. Anyone sensing a theme in all of this? Now, this change doesn't happen overnight, but the arc of a career, the arc of your careers, is long. I'm not worried about the future, and I'm not worried about you. You're smart, clearly smart. We saw that in the awards presentations just a few minutes ago, the extraordinary project work that you've accomplished. And that's important. You're hardworking, and that too is important. I remember back to my time as dean, and whether it was in the MEM space, the couch lab, or any of the project spaces, and it sometimes seemed that 11 p.m. or 2 a.m. was the most vibrant time of the day. Is that still the case? Right? Only a few nods of recognition. We've gotten soft, apparently, in the past 10 years. You are hardworking. Your engineering education, because you are engineers, truly has you prepared. And I am optimistic for your future because each of you embodies that notion of engineering and. Your engineering education teaches you to understand the core of technology, its uses and limits, as Provost Coates said earlier in his remarks. To be quantitative, to make assumptions, and to make informed decisions. And your business education teaches you to understand the allocation of capital, human and financial, necessary for everyone from the Fortune 500 CEOs that some of you will become, to the entrepreneurs that many of you will become, to the person 2 weeks from now that you may become trying to manage your very first apartment. That matters. And your liberal arts education teaches you to understand context, to ask why or why not, to understand history and community and culture, and make decisions about technology, understanding its relationship to human potential and the human condition. Putting these together in different ways means you are prepared to ask and answer questions from a range of perspectives. You are not tied to one tool or one technology or one way of seeing. You are not intimidated by the potential of generative AI. You know that used well, it is an extraordinary tool for human progress and the progress of knowledge. You've also learned to work collaboratively in teams and communicate, including with people who are not engineers, regardless of your degree program. And I believe that that ability to understand technology, to put it in context, to work together collaboratively, and then most emphatically, to communicate is the most important thing that you will take from your education, the most important skill that you have developed here at Dartmouth and Thayer. Let me tell you a story. A few weeks ago, I was in the Boston area for a day of work-related meetings. After a dinner conversation with an alumnus and former trustee that went late into the evening, I returned to my hotel and got on the elevator to return to my room. Before the doors closed, I was joined by another passenger, a young woman, and I did what I always do. I smiled and said, "How are you doing?" as the elevator doors closed. Now, I do this because that's just who I am. I also do this because, in part, I want to give lie, in case anyone looks at me and sizes me up by the way I'm dressed as an engineer. I want to give lie to the notion that engineers don't communicate, or at least don't communicate with regular people in non-technical language. Now, most times a question like this will elicit a simple "fine" and you kind of reply, but that night was different. My fellow passenger looked in my direction, sighed, and said, "How am I?" "I'm 6 months pregnant, it's 9 o'clock at night, I'm on a work trip, and I'm carrying a plastic bag filled with takeout from the Cheesecake Factory. I'm living the dream." Now, I laughed out loud as she stepped off the elevator, thanked her for bringing a little humor to my evening at the end of a long day, and thought about what she said. Living the dream. Now, that brief conversation's on my mind because I'm often asked these days how I am doing, in a tone that conveys, as some of you may have noticed, the idea that being a university president is perhaps not the most desirable or easiest job in 2025. There are political challenges on a national level, financial challenges, the challenges of protecting free speech while at the same time supporting every member of our communities, the challenge of reminding us that the global communities that form the bedrock of the American Research University, global communities like the graduates that I see here in front of me, global communities that you have at places like Dartmouth and Lehigh and MIT and Harvard and Illinois and Virginia and every research university in between, thrive and excel precisely because they are global communities. It's not easy. And yet I truly am living the dream. Leadership means that we don't get to choose our moment. We don't get to choose the challenges we will face. All we can do is be ready for when that moment comes, because as they say, the moment chooses us. My engineering education prepared me to think analytically and quantitatively, to break a problem down into its component parts, and to rely on data in making decisions. My time in the workforce, and particularly my time as a staff member in the United States Senate, and then as the Dean of the Thayer School of Engineering and at Dartmouth as Provost, helped me learn and practice communicating with a broader audience and to seeing things from truly a broad range of perspectives, to appreciate the importance of the intersection of engineering and so many other things, and to work hard to always understand the other person's point of view. I tell you all of this because I know the educational experience that each and every one of you, regardless of program, has had. You, my friends, are all prepared for these challenges. You have experienced an engineering education and so much more that has given you exposure to all of this. You are prepared to lead. Your education at this extraordinary institution in engineering and so many other things has prepared you almost uniquely to navigate the challenges thrown your way. Generative AI, the fourth industrial revolution, even politics, or whatever the future may hold. I'm optimistic that you will navigate these moments to create an inclusive and better future for all. I have the privilege of standing on stages like this, seeing talented students like you, and knowing that we are sending you off fully prepared. In your case, as our student speaker said at the outset, fully prepared to take on the most responsible positions and the most difficult service. You are ready, and I am so proud to see where you will head. I so look forward to see where you will head and what you will do as you leave this extraordinary institution. Congratulations, Dartmouth Engineering class of 2025. Go out and do great things.
Thank you, President Helble. It's now my honor to commence the conferral of hoods to our degree candidates. BEs, please approach the platform using the ramp on my right. MEM, MEng, MS, and PhDs, please use the ramp on my left. Once you've been hooded, pause for a photo, and exit down the center ramp. Please welcome Professors Vicky May, Vikrant Fazé, and Eugene Santos, who will assist with the hooding, and Professor Laura Ray, who will read our graduates' names.
For the degree of Bachelor of Engineering, Noah Brian Dunleavy. Micah Taylor Green. Ivy Nasiaki Mayende. Aryan Agrawal. Corinne Ahern. Adam Albert Alto. Gianna Jokel Umisu. Matthew Anderson. Emily Barrison. Hayden Barry. Shane Matthew Bauer. Joshua Robert Baxter. William Raymond Bender. Dakota Black. Ulysses Richard Brenzel. Kyle William Brown. McCoy Young Booksteiner. A little bit above. Desha Charles. Catherine Liu Chen. Hannah Waverly Chipman. Christopher Walter Colesman. Maeve Ella Connolly. Grace Connolly. Liam Thomas Cotter. Victoria Kubina. Rosales Desalen. Alexandra Dwyer. James Dodge. Jacob Dresser. Wyatt Thomas Ellison. Kai Etheridge. Amelia Holbrook Evans. William Fuchs. Gannon Forsberg. Akla Gandhi. Supriya Ganti. Ariadna Garcia. Sophie Rose Goldberg. Arun Guraswamy. Chloe Hamilton Gilbert. Thomas Hemphill. Kevin Hogan. Lord Charité Igira Bambazi. Ian Kamweru. Remy Cowderer. Lauren Elizabeth Kidman. Justin Kim. Thea Elise Kunzel. Gabriel Londi. Louis Latulip. Kan Lan Lee. Harry Leiter. Maritzel Ruby Leon Roldan. Hanku Lu. Sarah Magdalena Gomez. Olivia McField. Joseph Leo McGinnis. Joshua Mizey. Michael Gabriel Minieri. Claire Mitchell. Ivory Patricia Moorhead. Usad Mustajab. Lane Edward Mishral. Alan Andrew Ritz Gwinnett. Nguyen Hai Lee. Munachismo Ognawa. Oscar Tuna Ozturk. Justin David Pavan. Jing Peng Poon. Elvio Polanco Jr. James Frederick Quirk. Evan Bennett Rankin. George Conrad Richards. Sasha Reese. Justin Suprin. Sorry. Elaine Sarazin. Sydney Savarese. Taneem Saeed. Colby James Shannon. Benjamin David Sheldon. Travis Bronson Short. Muhir Singh. Carson James Smith. Lucas Song. Christine Daria Saritas. Matthew Ilya Timofeyev. Ryan William Tripp. McCollum Twiss. Declan Coleman Unverfirth. Vuti Vey. Joshua Vorbrick. Gabriella Walsh. Emily Ann Wangenheim. Avery Wyden. Daniel Vincent Will III. Jack Ramsey Wright. Scotty Miaoyi Yang. Ulyan Yildirim. Zihao Yuan. Autumn Zhang. For the degree of Master of Engineering Management, Shudra Narayan. Diana Amusat. Stuti Anuncha. Surya Ananta. Siddhant Banyo. Tomas Brenes. Theksha Bubna. Aryan Chowdhury. Andy Chen. Terry Chen. Pranav Dharmadikari. Hao Yang Dong. Sandile Dubey. Himani Gaikwad. Roshni Govind. Gustav Hans Granlund. Hongli Wei Guan. Nicholas Kalimos. Chad Kloss. Esha Kumar. Mayank Mankhand. Manasa Murali. Amrutha Nair. John Javi Oban. Gary Pierre. Rahul Ramakrishnan. Richa Runjun. Mitali Rathod. Kushagra Rawat. Harshita Rayapati. Brinda Sai. Amarul Ali Shah Patan. Meti Shah. Ameya Sharma. Brian Ilyashay. Sadhana Smriti Srinavan. Atarva Tendulkar. Damini Thuso. Sri Nandana Vijay. Viva Visnanathan Kamala. Neil Vora. For the degree of Master of Engineering, Isabel Anderson. Engirl Bay. Dylan Barbagallo. Rafaela Camere. Julian Scott Kitsu. Harry Connolly. Gavin Cormier. Tofarati Folayan. Andrei Gerashenko. Daisy Carlo Granholm. Rulian Bo. Joseph Harrington. Tizon Harris. Felix Andreas Honer. Osamudiamen Izokun. Joseph June. Isabella Nicole Diaz Com. Sophia Grace Kiernan. Alexander Stephen Kish. Emily Liu. Rebecca Liu. Timothy James Manganello. Jenna Kimberly Martin. Joseph Martinez. Emily Masuda. Haley Mullen. Kieran Thomas Norton. Rafe T. Olson. Mateo Dinez Oyola. Claudia Pacori Palomino. Soo-Yoon Park. Alaya Parvez. Julian Perez Doval. Damian Petrin. Sebastian Raino. Riano. Matthew Harold Ritterbush. Lorenzo Rodriguez. Monica Andrea Scotto. Anna Schum. Shannon Simone Simpson. Yingxi Song. Justin Su. Allison Trapani. Wells Willett. For the degree of Master of Science, Diego Barrutia Alta. Julia Durant. Sarah Torpy Hutchinson. Himanshu Patil. Cameron Jack Wolf. For the degree of Doctor of Philosophy, Vishal Dev Sharma. Louis Alarts. Megan Alexandra Clark. Adam Michael Cairn Gronwald. Elise Horlings. Larson Keidel. Balakawana Mabeta. Ayobami Ogunmalo Shuyi. Cypher Rahman. Ian Alexander Raphael. Naveed Rashedi. Augustino Vittorio Scorzo. Peter Solberg. Jacob Pierce Soonerberg. Yui Tong. Rebecca Jane Thompson. Peiyu Wang. Juan Zhao. Junhoo Zhou.
Congratulations, graduates. While I have your attention, I do want to make a couple of announcements. At the end of this ceremony, graduates, faculty, and platform party, please follow your marshals to the bleachers on the green for class photos. Family, friends, and guests, while graduates take their photo, we invite you to head back to Thayer for a light reception. Photos and videos from the ceremony will be available on our website in the coming weeks. If you're taking part in commencement tomorrow, undergraduates earning both the AB and the BE assemble at Memorial Field no later than 8:15 a.m. Graduates earning the BE, MEM, MEng, MS, and PhD meet in front of Wentworth Hall by 8:30 a.m. And faculty, please meet near the Hood Museum entrance, also by 8:30 a.m. Finally, I'd like to close with a message for the class of 2025. 26 years ago, I sat in your seats, watching somebody talk to me from behind a stump. All of my earthly possessions were preloaded into the family minivan parked down in the Channing Cox parking lot. I didn't have a job. I didn't have a place to live other than my parents' basement, and I didn't have a car. In other words, 26 years ago tomorrow, I drove away from Dartmouth with a somewhat naive, 21-year-old existential crisis of uncertainty. Families, don't worry. It only took me about 3 weeks to sort out that first job. But it took me years to really understand what I actually had on that day I drove away from Hanover. Thayer taught me how to assess the world around me, how to identify problems, how to teach myself about new fields, and most importantly, how to take action toward a solution to that uncertainty. I'm no different from you, except now somehow I'm standing on the other side of this stump, and I'm pretty humbled, and maybe even a little embarrassed to think that while my uncertainty was immediate and might even represent a shared experience with some of you, it was pretty insignificant in the context of what's happened over the years that you've been in school. The uncertainties of today are different and they're deep. That's why President Helble's words are so important right now. Your engineers end. Let me fill in that blank with one other descriptor. And you're ready to take action. I know this because there's a very clear and unchanging thread that runs through each graduating class, even going decades back, that Thayer is a truly unique place where engineering is entwined with all of the things that make humans so interesting and our world so interestingly complex. You know what I'm talking about, that magical intersection of engineering with arts, literature, history, and culture, all within this close-knit community that makes Dartmouth so special from the start, and it makes Thayer problem-solving different by design. That's the Thayer constant. Here, engineering and the liberal arts don't travel in separate lanes. Even faculty and PhD students focused on very specific areas of research, like tissue bioimpedance or functional nanomaterials design, collaborate with partners across Dartmouth, Tuck, Geisel, and beyond to tackle problems that don't fit neatly into any one box. You'll often hear that change is something that's always true about the world, but even in uncertainty, the Thayer constant, both the place and its people, is why I'm certain that you're among the most capable and prepared to take on any difficult work you may face ahead. And it's not because of how skilled or gifted you are. That helps. But because of what you do when you don't have the know-how, when you don't have the answer, and when you're uncertain. Like many students before you, you remain open. You listen and you learn through spirited conversation, the kind that sparks new ideas and lifelong friendships. You reach out and you bring others in. You collaborate with people across academic and research interests with backgrounds and experience and views different from your own. You do all of this because you know how to build, you know that to build better tools, you first build better teams. You also know that there's a point where it's time to just trust what you wrote on the right whiteboard, put it away, get up, take the next step, and hit a milestone or get over the finish line. You've done this. and the faculty find your achievements remarkable, but not surprising. Because while the degree you earn from Dartmouth may be in engineering, what you bring to the world goes far beyond that. You're prepared for the kind of leadership technology needs, leadership with purpose, grounded in a deep understanding of people and place. You meet uncertainty with imagination, you see nuance and complexity, and you lead with curiosity, thought, and compassion. When you approach this world with this mindset, every challenge becomes an opportunity to ask better questions, gain fresh perspectives, and find willing collaborators who can help turn ideas into action. We are counting on you to take the leap, to translate your work into a real tool, technology, or system that can improve the lives of people and communities who need it most. After all, our greatest problems, be it climate change, artificial intelligence, or global health, aren't just technical, they're human. The good news is you've already started this work. So on behalf of our faculty and the Thayer community, thank you for the incredible privilege to be part of your journey. Congratulations. This concludes our investiture ceremony. Graduates, please follow the marshals to the back of the green for class photos. Family and friends, please remain seated until the recessional is over.
Page 16, Walking Frog.